We've all heard the term soft skills. It's one of those things we've heard so many times that it's kind of like, womp, womp, womp. What does that really mean? And you just so articulately said that there are things that were more important than industry experience. Nike used to, and I don't know if they have, this might be 20-year-old information. They used to hire for the right corporate athletes that they didn't necessarily have the exact skill set that we were looking at. Or because I'm sure you've worked with hiring managers internally and you've gotten all the information and you're like, this person just doesn't exist. That doesn't have this and this and this and this and this and this. So what can we do here? And what you're saying is you use words like mindset and values and passion. Tell me a little bit, if you were to balance the traditional way of looking at skill sets, experience base, that is the traditional way that we look to hire, and then this new soft skills and mindsets and passion. What's the balance? What's more important? Are they equally important? But now with your experience, how do you look at that?
That's a good question. And I think that's the balance and the dance that you're constantly playing is trying to figure out how much of each do you need. So, one thing that we talk about is what's trainable? What could you train someone on? And how long would it take to train someone? So, if we have someone, let's say in billing, and they say they need to know how to use pivot tables, and I'm declining these candidates because they haven't used pivot tables. Well, are they savvy? Are they problem solvers? Could they learn that? How long would it take them to learn that? 30 minutes? So, understanding what's trainable, the mindset isn't always trainable. That problem solver, that being excited about building something, that's something that you either usually have or you don't have. So that's something that we really try to prioritize hiring people with that. And it's not that we don't look for people with industry experience. We look for people with adjacent industry experience so they generally know what we're doing. Not in all positions. There's positions where we'll train for sure, but for like a sales position, we can't hire someone who just has no relevant experience because it would take too long to learn the actual specifics of the product in the industry. But we'll hire people from adjacent industries that have that right skill or that right mindset. And I think it's something that as in talent acquisition and HR, we know that inherently. We've seen this over and over. It's very easy for managers to say, I want someone with all this experience. And you think that's great. That doesn't exist, but they insist. And then they find someone who has most of it. And then that person's not successful because it's really easier as a manager to look for those things that are industry experience, pivot tables, the day to day, as opposed to interviewing for the mindset. And it does sometimes take time for managers to understand that. So some of our managers who would say, well, we just need to hire fast and we need to hire people from our industry, they made those mistakes and now they've learned and they've come around on their own to now aligning with what we've been trying to help educate and get people on board. But I think now the train is moving, which is great, and everyone really understands it's the mindset. And at an executive leadership team, we talk about that and we've talked about this transition of who we're hiring and why. And that helps that team. And then that helps their managers so that when they do have an open position, people are starting to be on the same page of hiring for the right people. And we've just seen such impact. Results speak for themselves. And when you show your value as an HR leader by showing how we can do things better to have more impact for the business, then people will start to listen and they'll want to start to do things maybe more aligned with how you will do it as opposed to what maybe they think just out of the box is needing some of those hard skills. So showing the value over time has really helped us bring the managers alongside that conversation.